Hello everybody, this is Louisa with Ellie Paper Studio, and today I'm going to be doing a craft room tour. This is the outside of my craft room. It's directly next to my front door. It's just early in the afternoon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go in. My pets are in the house. They are a normal addition and feature to my videos, so you will definitely be hearing them. Okay, so this is what my craft room looks like on the inside. Right now I have the doors closed, as you can see. I normally work with my doors open, mostly because I like the natural light, and I also like to have free access for my pets. They do like to go in and out, and if they're not allowed access, they knock against the door or even open it themselves. So it's just easier to keep it open. So this is my workspace. This is where I have my computer set up. This is my husband's computer. A lot of the times when I'm working, he'll come in and work with me. That's my water bottle. If you see some of my feet, you're gonna notice that I'm in gym clothes, and I'm normally crafting in gym clothes right before I go upstairs to run on my treadmill, or I'm actually in my pajamas or really comfortable clothes. I like to craft comfortably. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you a preview or a quick tour of this corner. This is my printing station. I have a Disney picture up there. This is a quote I got from my dear friend, and I chose to put it in my craft room. My husband and I are in the process of adopting, and this is some scripture that it's really meaningful for anybody who's going through an adoption process. It's kind of lengthy, so I put it up there. So this is my main printer that I use for almost everything. And then it has papers that roll through it, and because of that, I try not to use cardstock too much with it. It has a tendency to get caught on the rollers, or if you're using specialty media, it's not the best printer for that, but otherwise it's really great. The ink is very economical. It knows how to use just the right amount, and the ink cartridge refills are actually very inexpensive. Underneath there, I have all my 12 by 12 scrapbook paper pads. I would say 90% of those are hot buys from Recollections, Michael's. They're like the Craftsmith brand. There's a few that are specific collections that I knew I loved or had to have. Maybe the Paper Studio, Beckett's with a View, and a few other brands. But I keep all of my 12 by 12 inch pattern paper down here. So this over here, this is what I use to take pictures. I will be recording a video eventually of how I take pictures. I believe that if you've taken the time to do such a beautiful and detail-oriented craft, that you should try to display it as beautifully as possible. Then this here is my other printing stations. This is my laser printer, and I'm going to stop pointing because the camera goes out of focus. But my laser printer, which I use normally only for foiling. And then that's my my HP printer that I use for thick cardstock, envelopes, and specialty media, because it's just a straight print, direct print. Down here, I keep the excess of cardstock, 12 by 12 on the right and 8.5 by 11 on the left. Sometimes I buy cardstock. I love the Recollections cardstock, and if I buy it in the packets, sometimes I only need one of those colors, and they bring 10 sheets only, and maybe I need 40, so I'll buy 4 of those packages, and I have all the other colors left over that I'll use for other projects. And then up there, the first cubby hole is actually my copy paper and my 120-pound cardstock, white cardstock that I buy in bulk. And then on the right here is just some other material for printing, especially for branding and for mailing things out from orders from my Etsy shop, just labels, circle labels, etc. This is the window. This is the only window I have on my craft room. It's really, really large and it invites a lot of natural light. I'll try to clean the lighting in this video as much as possible because it's so much light that the filters that I have right now on my video, I'm recording with my phone, they're skewing it a little bit. So I'll move quickly to this corner here. This is my new machine, is the Big Shot Plus. It's a 8.5 by 12 inch platform surface, so it allows for for embossing letters and A4s type of paper, so large embossing. I was toying around the idea of getting the 12 by 12, but there's no 12 by 12 embossing folders out there, so it didn't really make sense for me to go there. Plus, it was almost 2.5 the amount of the cost of this one, so I didn't really feel the need. Up here, this is a hippo. I will have a cute little clip at the end of the hippo. It's a gift from a friend and I like to keep it in here. And then these two consoles are from the dollar store. That white console there was from Walmart. This console here actually, it can probably be emptied out. It has a lot of books that are not craft related. Eventually this room will be shared with as a playroom for children, so when I have to consolidate, this is one of the pieces that's going to go, and what you saw on the other corner is going to move in here. This here is my this is all crafting. So the first up here, I have in the blue box specialty 12 by 12 pattern paper that I bought separate sheets of. Then on the pink one, I have finished 12 by 12 layouts. On the first cubby hole, I have foam sheets and then specialty media. I even see, if you can see there, a rag that's full of paint. So I don't do a lot of crafting that is not paper crafting. So when I do some painting or something like that, that's where the cubby hole that I go to. And then that bag there that's kind of just stuffed in there is just my trim. I just have a small collection I just started. Then on the middle cubby hole, hi baby, and this is my shepherd. Then on my middle cubby hole, I have my Stampin' Up! Stamps, and I've had to stack them and double stack them because they can hardly fit anymore. And then on the bottom, I have two boxes. The bottom one has small pattern paper left over from different cuts. I like to keep the very pretty ones down there but they're very small pieces. They're good for silhouette cutting, specialty pieces. Then the brown box, the dark box that you see on top of it, that's where I store my leftover cards that I haven't mailed or that I haven't used, and invitation samples that I do for my Etsy shop or clients or other projects. Then over here I have, this is my long table. This is probably where I do 90% of my crafting. These were actually made, my husband and I made them. I just use 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the Recollection or the Michaels cubby holes. I think you can also use Stampin' Storage. I think they're originally from Stampin' Storage. And I just stacked them together. And then I went to Home Depot and got this long piece of MDF board and had it split in half and cut to these dimensions. And then my husband just screwed them on top of these columns. So then it creates tables. Over here I'll give you a better look. This is my buttons, brads, and pearls and bling drawer. It's overflowing right now. I have a lot of stuff, so, but you know, you can never have enough buttons. And then this is my ribbon, my main ribbon drawer. I am considering getting a ribbon console holder specifically, so it would free up these two. And this is the remainder of my buttons and my ribbon. These are not the regular solid colors. This is more of the specialty ribbons. Then here, these are all projects that I've started and have yet to complete. Up here, I have all my coloring material. This little box is a Mod Podge of things, and then my little console of paper clips. Then down here, this is what I use to mail my Etsy orders in, and I get this paper on clearance. I love it. When Michael stops selling it because they've cleared it all out, I'm going to be scrambling, to be honest, for how to send my packages, which is why I've stocked up. Then in here I have Velcro, I have glue sticks, I have just a Mod Podge of adhesives that I don't typically use too much of. Then over here I have a little cubby hole, and I've created all of these and these. I couldn't find online or anywhere any that would fit these units, and they're really, really deep, so just to have them have material in there, it would be it was very difficult for me to reach in and out. So down here I have just specialty paints and re-inkers. And then these are collections that I've purchased from like Cartabella and Echo Park and other type of collections, Bow Bunny, that I have in here. I have them clipped with one of these or in their individual baggies. And some of them I've used up. Some of them, they're completely new collections. I just keep them in these bins. Down here is my collection of scraps, and I have them organized by colors. This will fit an entire 12 by 12 paper, so this drawer is really, really useful. And at the back, I have the solid colors at the front, and then at the back it goes by pattern themes, if you will. Over here, these are the embossing powders I use the most. And down here in this cubby here, which I got at the dollar store. I know other places sell them. The dollar store is where I found them for the least amount. I think there were the big ones were $9, or they may actually no, the big ones were $4. The smaller ones were like $3 or something like that. So here's where I store most of my bigger equipment. So like my heat gun, my Amazon laminator for heat foiling, and then other type of tools that are bigger in nature. And the reason I store them down here is because that is where I plug them into. And this is my primary source of embossing, because my heat tools down there, my embossing tools are right there, and all my Versamarks are right here. So this is where I come and I can really quickly reach down here and grab it and emboss. Moving on. And I'm sorry, this video is going to be kind of lengthy, but I was requested when I first did a very quick craft room tour to go over more details. And now that I've been here for a while, I can kind of tell you what's worked and what hasn't. So on my wall, I've just decorated it with quotes that I find inspirational. And then I created my own little LE Paper Studio kind of sign. Then here is a paper store's stationary component size guide, as you can read. And I love it because I can quickly come and see what an A9 or an A7 is, and also the different materials that they offer if I want to order online. This is my ribbon, my large ribbon station. It doesn't hold all my ribbon, and also it only holds ribbon that has a larger circle punch in the middle. And then I have some washi in the middle as well. Then these are all my inks. These are surprisingly all the inks that I own. I feel like that is all that I've ever really needed. There's a few of them that I've never even used. These are my big Martha Stewart cartridges for different tools. And then my specialty inks, my pigments, StazOn, Versamarks, etc. And my wipes, and then of course my scraps. This little box here is what has worked the most in my craft room, has been the best addition. I use it to put things, when I'm working, I like to have clean surfaces, which would mean that everything that you pull out, you have to immediately bring back. And that's not very effective when you're crafting and maybe you're working on a project that is going to take you 8 hours. That would make those 8 hours seem more like 12 hours because half of that you're putting things away. So here I put my scraps quickly so that, and then once a month, twice a month, sometimes even 3 times a month, depending on how full it gets. And how much it bothers me, I go in there and reposition everything where it belongs. And then I keep my paper trimmer just up right there. And then these are my Martha Stewart punches, border punches, and then a few just corner punches, etc. that go with those border punches. It's a very useful way to have them displayed, and because they're white and they kind of match the furniture, they're cute and I don't have to hide them away. Then that little console here is where I keep a lot of different things. In the middle I have my sponges, my daubers. Here I have some office supplies. Here I have some small die cuts that I've had left over that are kind of generic and I don't want to throw away. Cutting tools, tape and other things, and then a Mod Podge of things there too. Then down here in these two cubbies, here I have my scoreboards and my my cutting mat right there, and then all my stamps that are not Stampin' Up, and my background stamps and my tools to stamp are right there. And then this is my trash can. I move this around my craft room wherever I'm crafting. Normally I'll move it around with that little bag there, which has all my tools that I will need no matter where I'm crafting, that my main scissors, pencils, main adhesives, my ATG gun, dimensionals, everything. Here we're getting to the last bit of it. I keep some business cards and then my mother's jewelry that I also have listed on Etsy that I have here. And then this is my stickers drawer, and I keep the stickers by theme in these Ziploc bags. They're fabulous to hold things together. This is my adhesive drawer for my HEG gun, score tape, and my cinch binding tools. This is Partition. This is all, these two are embossing powders, glitter, stickles, and other kind of media that'll make things a little bit more special. These are all my dies, and they're right in here. And then from here on out is all embossing folders, and let me pull them all out so you can see. I have probably about 50 embossing folders, not counting my large ones. And then down here is all my paper punches, and the reason they're at the very bottom drawer is because they are very heavy, and I didn't want them to damage this. So I keep them in these dividers in this kind of organization. This is my cinch binding tool. And then here I have all the other leftover tools, like my 3-hole punch binder. I don't really use that hardly at all, so I may be repositioning that somewhere else, but it does help keep this sometimes a little up. My envelope punch board. And then these are my whenever I get an embossing folder, I emboss a piece of paper, and just so that I can see what it does. And these are my large embossing folders. They're very, very large, and some of them are 8.5 by 12, others are 8.5 by 11. Then up here, I keep more tools. And specifically on this pullout, this used to be a computer desk. In this pullout, I keep my silhouette mats, my pick scan, and everything, because my silhouette sits right here. This is I keep most of my pens and markers for my dry erase boards. This is my control area. This is where I have my calendar for the month planned out, my week planned out, and then I have lists here of different things that I either need to purchase, videos I need to upload, things I need to do, things that don't fit in here. And then this is my Hutch desk, or the Hutch on my desk. I try to keep fresh flowers here. I will be moving to plastic flowers because it's very difficult to keep them alive, especially if I've had a very busy week at work and haven't had time to come in to my craft room for an entire week. So I will be switching to plastic, sadly. This is a little container of a bunch of little stamps that were actually given to me. They were gifted to me. And then there's an alphabet in there and a lot of other stamps that I really, really liked. So I put them all in this cute little, in this vase. And they're not only there so that I can reach into them, but also as decoration. So I keep the top very, very empty. Then here in the middle, this is all of what I have fabric related. I have some more ribbon and thread, and then 2 of these rolls that I use quite often. But other than that, this is all of the fabric that I'll ever use or need. I'm not very big into fabric. This is more of my thread, some burlap. And then this is my mailing station, primarily because here's my computer, and most of the time when I'm mailing something, I'm doing it through my computer or printing the label out of my computer. So it's very handy. And these are just all kinds of envelopes in whites and ivories, in different sizes, planner stickers, stamps, more envelopes, and that's pretty much that. This is my computer station. My computer's hooked up to a larger monitor so I can easily look at what I am creating and designing. And then here I have my foil rolls. This is my little cubby of all my electronics. So my laptop here doesn't have a CD player, so here's my external CD player, my external hard drives, cables that I quickly need, my camera that I use for taking videos or pictures. Then this is my baggie or my cubby hole of miscellaneous stickers. I'm probably going to be reshifting those to my sticker bin now that they're all in baggies. And then back here I have all my pictures that I have to put in layouts. Look at that big chunk. That's about 400 pictures. This box here has a lot of really beautiful spring ribbons that were given to me. This holds my laptop when I need to take it with me somewhere. And I have several of these mats where I can measure pretty much anything out. I created this myself using dollar store clear transparent vinyl to protect the top, and then using these really cool washi tape measurement tapes. And then I printed out this graph paper that is actually real size, 1 inch, and then it has the 1/2 inch split there as well. And then I put that same tape all over. I keep my additional tape here in case I need to retape something, because they're not super permanent. As you can see, they're lighter in some areas where I touched them a lot, or I have a lot of wear and tear there. So this is it. And then back to the beginning, this is my all my different diplomas. I'm filming this and we are taking down our tree. It's just 2017, so happy new year to everybody. And I'm not sure when I'm going to be putting this up. It'd be a little bit embarrassing if I put it up in like June or even December of 2017, but it would also be kind of fitting. A lot of the times I record a video and I don't upload it or edit it until much later, depending on what other videos I have going on, and it really all depends. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this tour. And if you have any questions over any of my organization or how I store my things, please feel free to ask me. Thanks a lot, and thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you guys at another video.
old squeeze.